1470 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
There's that pretty music. It must be time for the pretty Jim George.
No, he's a handsome man.
He's a handsome guy.
Manly man.
I wish I could wear a beard like Jim. You got a good thing going. That's a good look on you.
Just let it grow.
Have you ever tried? No, I tried.
You know, like Frozen, let it grow.
It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Who did I feel like I looked like? I don't know who I felt like I looked like. It didn't look. I saw pictures later on. I said, "Oh my gosh, my son does a good job. Robin's son did a good job with a beard, but me,
Yeah, you can grow a beard. Just leave it alone. It'll grow. That's what my dad used to always tell me.
Yeah. Did your father have a beard?
He did.
So is it like a family thing?
No, I'm the only one in the family that has a beard, but my dad had a beard till my mom made him shave it off.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well, yours is trimmed real nice.
I try to
You
keep it
always look
somewhat
really
trimmed,
nice.
but it's difficult. It gets raggedy.
Now, why do women want men to shave their beards off? Can you imagine telling your wife, "Don't put makeup on anymore"?
Yeah.
Would that work?
Oh, that wouldn't work. No, thank you. I love my makeup. I love my
No,
makeup.
I understand. We can't tell them what to do. Only they can tell us what to do.
Yeah.
You're not going to wear that shirt, are you? Well, I was planning on it.
I guess you're not now.
Yeah, but I see what you just said is exactly right. It's always a question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She didn't say, "Don't wear that shirt." She said, "You're not going to wear that one, are you?"
No, I only put it on and buttoned it so I'm waiting for you to get ready.
But in their defense, I myself have found myself saying, "Oh my gosh, I wish somebody had told me how bad this shirt looks." Doug and I will go out someplace, and all of a sudden I'll look down and say, "Oh man, if Robin was here, I wouldn't have wore this shirt."
Yeah.
By the way, our friend Doug had eye surgery on Wednesday, and he was talking to me on the phone yesterday. He had
For cataract.
cataract surgery.
Yes.
And he says, "I don't need to get really close to my monitor anymore. I can see my keyboard now."
Oh, wow.
So yeah, his eyes are. He's probably really happy with his
That's great.
newfound eyesight. Yeah.
Yep. Unbelievable.
You
what
went
it
through
can
that,
do.
right?
I did. And of course, they ask you, do you want to be able to see close up or see far away? Because it depends on which lens we put in your eye.
Ah.
And I said, I want to see far away because I'm tired of wearing glasses when I drive. And they put that lens in, and I have to admit, I see absolutely perfect.
But you
That's
don't need
wonderful.
glasses for reading, do you?
I do.
Oh, you do need for reading. Okay.
Yeah. Anything closer than 12 to 14 inches is my focal.
And you had both eyes done?
I had just the left.
Oh, just the left.
The right one did not have a cataract. It was very healthy.
Do you know, we had a guest on yesterday, and she was a Cuba expert. It was like a Cuban cookbook, but it was more than that. It had pictures of people smoking cigars in the old cars. Oh my gosh! And one lady had a big old stogie cigar, pretty lady, but one of her eyes had a visible cataract in it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that one photo?
Yes, I did.
With the woman with the
Yes, I
cataract in
did.
one eye.
Yes, I did.
And
That
I wondered
was,
if maybe, they say medical technology, I guess medical is, whatever, healthcare is affordable there because it's free, whatever. But how come they don't use it then? See,
Maybe the doctors aren't as educated as our doctors.
imagine that.
I tell you one thing: when they showed me pictures of the back of my eye. Can you imagine that?
Oh, my.
I mean, they actually show you the back of your eye, so they look right straight through, bounce off the back, and I mean, unbelievable photos.
Yeah.
Isn't that something? That is amazing.
It is. I mean, I don't know if that's available all over the world, or it could be financial difficulties. Who knows?
So there were two stories that were teased. One has been revealed now, the other one hasn't yet. The two stories are the Mars rover had something that NASA wanted to tell us about, and that was yesterday. And it turns out they found chemicals or whatever that indicate life may have been there at one time. It's one of those crazy things. The other one is more interesting, though. IHOP is changing their name to IHOB.
Like IHOB.
They're changing the P to a B. Now you have to wait till June
11th.
11th.
Yeah, Monday.
So Tuesday. Oh, Monday?
Monday.
Okay.
and it's supposed to stand for something now, like I hobnob with you.
Yeah, right. Oh, I like that. That's good.
Hey, your guess is as good as anybody's.
Yeah.
They're going to reveal what the name change means. So I was thinking maybe it's going to be just baloney, like I only have baloney. IOHB. No, I have only baloney. Yeah,
I have only baloney.
Or maybe it's old baloney.
So the P was for pancakes, right? International
Yeah.
House of Pancakes.
Right.
Maybe now it's breakfast, International House of Breakfast.
That's a good guess.
Because when you go in there, I mean, you can get other foods, but they're pretty good for their breakfast.
But what about that place is actually international? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. I haven't seen any waitresses or waiters that are international.
Oh, well, they sell crepes.
Maybe because it's...
Crepes are from France.
Yeah, they have the Belgium waffles.
Oh, okay.
And French crepes.
And French crepes, yeah, there you
Yep.
go.
And
I
American
guess the
pancakes.
two countries allow for it, International. We don't call our airport International Airport, do we?
Yeah, we do.
We do.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
still have the sign up there. They need to take it down. That's a real sore spot for me because
But-
it's not international.
But you know why it was called international? Because we had a customs agent there. And now we don't have a
yeah,
customs
I
agent there.
haven't been there in years, and they still refer to it as International Airport, which I think is wrong.
Have
Very
you ever
misleading.
flown from Ocala Airport?
Yes, but not to anywhere.
Oh, just flying around like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah,
No, I
yeah.
have. I've flown to Atlanta from there. I've flown to Miami from the airport.
Really?
Yeah, where I had to, people say, I want you to come down and help me, let's say, and do this job, and we'll have a plane pick you up.
Did you?
Oh, nice.
Did you ever have aspirations, or have you ever wanted to be a pilot, or are you a pilot? No.
No.
How come? That would be right up your alley, I would think.
I'm not much on flapping my wings, I'm afraid.
I bet you would have been good. You heard the plane landed on the interstate,
I saw
right?
a little bit of that video last night on TV.
Yeah,
Just a smidgen of it. I came in late, but yeah, that was very interesting.
So what would you have done if you were the car on the highway?
I'd have moved over and given the plane all the room it needed. Just don't run into me, No, sirree.
If you put your headsets on, you'll be able to hear the caller. Let me make sure I did everything right. Good morning. You're on the air with Jim George.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey.
I suppose that airplane would screw up your radio reception, huh?
I don't know about it. Yeah, the planes used to bother airwaves. They very seldom have a reflection problem now, the way the new technology is. Very seldom, if ever.
See, I'm looking into replacing, getting some new air conditioning, and I'm doing some pricing and so on and so forth. I guess according to the law, I guess you want to call it law, there has to be at least 12 SEER, I believe I was reading. But if you want to increase the SEER, the prices really go up quite dramatically. Is there a certain point where you would not really be getting your money back if you spent and got, let's say, a 19 SEER or 20 or whatever you could go up to? You're better off just like maybe say going to like a 14 SEER, just 2 points over the required amount.
Yeah, so there's a website. I wish I could remember what it is. It has to do with appliances, like appliances.com or something like that, or appliancedepot.com. But anyway, it gives you the rating of each of the manufacturers and what the SEER is and what it means for you in savings per year. And it does show that if you go up 1 point or 2 points, you don't really get a drastic change in savings. What it does is the unit doesn't have to run as long. So the theory is if it's not running as long, that is the compressor, then it's drawing less current. But these things are so efficient today. I mean, if you have an air conditioner right now and it has to run for a half hour, let's say, the cool down from, let's say, 77 to 74, only have to run for 10 minutes to do the same thing. So in theory is you save current. But if you actually had a 3-phase air conditioner instead of a single-phase air conditioner, you'd save even more money.
Oh, okay, yeah. Does the tonnage make a big difference then? Like where I am now, I've got my house is 2,600 under the air condition, and I got a 4-ton. My neighbor's got a similar size house, and he went to a 5-ton. And I haven't really had a chance to ask him about if it was much of a savings for him or not, or if it's air conditions quicker.
There is a point at which it doesn't help you. As a matter of fact, I've had some people say that by going larger, you can actually do more damage as far as humidity in the house and such as that. I'm not really privy to all that HVAC information, but you could call just a simple company like Climate Control, or and just ask them, say, can I speak to one of your technicians? And they'll give you all the dope you need on it. All American Electric.
Have a great weekend.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
That's right. It is Friday.
That's right. Hey, I have a question for you. Can you explain so that I understand the science behind the microwave? This is kind of maybe real basic for you, but what actually happens? And then part two is why, because I was reading something online, that when you heat up a food item in the microwave, it actually continues to get hotter for a little while after the microwave is turned off. What exactly happens?
Well, you're exciting the modules, the molecules that are in the product you're trying to heat, whether it be water or food. And you're actually heating it, as you know, from the inside out. So you're passing a wave, a frequency through the meat. And what they did is, you remember the day of the old Klystron tubes, the big radios?
No.
The big tubes that you had in the radio.
Oh, okay, I didn't know what they were called.
Well,
Okay.
they would put off radiation. And television stations, I can remember in Chicago, I was in, and they would actually, people would put their sandwiches within like 3 or 4 feet of the big television tubes just to warm them up.
Really?
Yeah, and they realized that there was energy being emitted. So by practice, they started figuring out which frequency, when it tries to pass through an object, heats it up due to the fact that the molecules are in one direction, and you're exciting them at a certain frequency so that they vibrate. A vibration causes heat, and so therefore you heat up the product.
So it actually is molecules rubbing themselves,
Yes.
rubbing against each other, and that's what heats it up. That is fascinating.
Yeah, exciting is
And
what
so they keep
use.
rubbing after it's done, and so that's why it gets.
Well, it's hard to stop once you start rubbing.
Yeah, notice that.
Have you ever been there? Yeah.
Hey, we saw the other day. Yeah, I know.
There's that happy point where it gets to where it's warm enough.
I know. It's just amazing.
I think we got off subject.
No, that's okay. We like to get off. So what? We saw this thing the other day on Hedy Lamarr. Is that the lady's name?
Yes, Hedy Lamarr.
And she invented a way to not scramble, but to change frequencies on
Alternating
on missiles
frequencies.
and submarine.
Yeah, she
torpedoes.
invented what we call spread spectrum.
Thank you.
And she did that because her husband was a piano player, I believe, and they were experimenting with different tones. And Jim could call in at any time now and correct us, but it had to do with being able to do multiple things with the same frequencies, so they could detect more inside of a frequency. You have a trained ear, let's say, and if I were to play a song and I hit just the note, it would sound very tinty, but you would blend that note with other notes and it still be that same note, that same frequency, but it would have a much better sound. So she knew that there were components inside components, and she called that spread spectrum, and pulled a patent on it, and it was used in military like for radar.
Yeah, and Robin, how much did that make?
$53 billion.
Which she saw none of it, right?
Yeah, she saw none of it because the
Wow.
Navy said they weren't going to use it, but they used it.
Yeah.
And now it's used today, according to the documentary, in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, everything. So
Yeah.
if she
Wow.
would have still had the
That is amazing.
had
Yeah.
the patent, her heirs would be billionaires.
Yeah.
So
It's amazing. It's
funny how when you
absolutely
talked about
amazing.
rubbing things, I thought of a Pretty Woman all of a sudden. I don't know how that happened.
That's called proximity.
You have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Jim George.
Hi, everybody.
Yes.
Good way to, or a good example is that you take your hands and place them together, with a little bit of force, and then rub them back and forth, and you'll feel that your hands are starting to get warm.
Yes.
And this is basically the same thing with these different frequencies, i.e. the frequencies for microwave ovens, how that gets things hot, etc., etc. But anyway, great programming, and thank you, WOCA, and everybody have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I had another example similar to that. No, I just dropped the thought from my brain. We have another phone call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, good morning. Many years later, however, Hedy Lamarr did sue Mel Brooks for the unauthorized use of her name in the making of the movie Blazing Saddles, and she did get a few $1,000s out of that.
Oh, okay. There you go. Because of the guy.
Yeah, Harvey Korman, Hedy Lamarr, and they do it several times during the movie, and she sued Mel Brooks, and Mel Brooks paid off on the suit.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
they settled out of court for some that they both agreed on.
Okay, he seemed like he liked her. He was in the documentary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jim, did you hear that Anthony Bourdain died?
I did. But I would have not have thought it. I mean, like the other callers had said, I mean, a world traveler get to go any place he wants to go, eat anything he wants to eat. It's, and decides, okay, that's enough. And it terminates life.
Yeah, what happened?
I mean,
Everybody likes
many
him.
of us would die for just the idea of doing one country or two countries.
We
And
don't
he's been
know.
all over.
Maybe there's more to it than we know, right?
Well, I can't imagine he'd commit suicide, though.
Oh.
I mean, it's just, they should investigate before they make a statement, I think.
Well, maybe they found a note.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Well, with all of the, internet firewalls and all that stuff that's in there, how can people, the bad guys, hack into things?
A lot of manufacturers, when they ship a product, have a password to get into it, and then they ask you to change the password. And what hackers do is they rely on anomalies in passwords. So they interrogate the product and ask it, will an A be okay? Will a B be okay? How about a 1? Would a pound sign? And they keep hitting it, and after a while they find an access, because there's always a back door to every product.
Oh.
So, and it's left open on purpose. So when you have a problem with your server or with something else that's very technical, and you call the manufacturer, they'll say, well, give me the password. And you might say, well, I don't even remember the password. It's been so long.
Right.
And they'll say, okay, well, give me the IP address that you've addressed to it so I can get in. And they'll get into it. And you'll say, well, how'd you get into it?
Yeah,
Well, we built in an access in the back. But we had to have your permission. We had to, we're recording this to let you're giving us permission to get in, and so on and so forth. Well, the bad guys use that. The other way is when someone in the organization goes to an unauthorized site. So Larry may hear from one of the people, and they'll say, if you want more information, go to whitehouse.org. And when Larry types it in, he goes to whitehouse.com. By mistake.
Oh.
What is it?
And whitehouse.com is a porno site.
Oh.
All right. So when you go there, what happens is they have cookies that attack your computer. In other words, settle in your computer and live there for a while. And then they go ask those cookies, where are you? And what are you doing? And
I did that last night.
Wow.
I said to the cookies, where are you?
That's right. And so those are ways in which they send little viruses, and these viruses can sleep for years. I mean, the hackers just send them out randomly. I get at least 10 a day where it says, here is your receipt for the part you bought at Home Depot. And I didn't buy anything at Home Depot.
Oh,
so
my.
if you click on it to find out what it is you purchased, and it might come up and say you purchased a lot. I mean, it sounds very innocent. You type back, that wasn't me, Well, by opening it up, you've already given them access to your computer. They're already in your computer already, which means if they're in your computer and your computer is attached to a server, and the server feeds, let's say, this whole radio station, now they're in the server for your radio station. And if you have multiple email addresses where the radio station goes to CNN to get information and goes here to get, now they have the access to that. So that one entrance way gave them complete access to everything.
And they say they can do that through some of those, the Internet of Things things.
Yes, yep, everything.
Whatever that is.
Well, we had a situation at Ocala Palms where the city of Ocala, which is our master domain that gives us our internet, we have 1 gig service out there, came to us and said, you have a person that is going to PlayStation and trying to hack PlayStation. And so Sony PlayStation is shutting us down until you shut down. So, and of course, the way to get around that is shut that one person down. I said, well, how do we know out of all the hundreds of people, which it is? They said, well, that's easy. We can give you the IP address of the person interrogating PlayStation. So they did that. We looked it up and found it was a little old lady in Ocala Palms. And she didn't know. I mean, someone had hacked hers. He gotten into her computer through PlayStation. Okay. And when she went to PlayStation, that virus then tried to get into PlayStation, because now it had an access through a password that she had as a customer.
Oh, my.
You know, they have great firewalls, and so they detected it, and they shut down that link. And then they came to the person that authorized it, which was OEU. OEU came to us, which was, Homeland Optical Technology, and then we went to the person. Anyway, after that, they cleaned up they went and took an antivirus thing, cleaned up their computer, and they're back online.
That's
so
amazing.
you got to not open up an unidentified email.
Gosh.
Even if it's from someone you really know.
That's my story. My story is somebody I really know asked if he could use my code for my Wi-Fi. And I said, oh, sure, no problem. And then I got a letter from Cox Cable saying that I had illegally downloaded a movie. And they gave me the title of the movie and everything. Yeah. I said, I never even heard of this movie. What are you talking about? Right. And I never even gave it a thought, because the person I gave the code to wasn't really around all the time, but would sometimes come over to my porch.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So then I said, wait a minute. I bet you I know who did this. So I asked him, and he said, yeah, I downloaded that. But it was right off of YouTube. Everything was legal. Yeah. I said, no, it was not legal.
So if we're doing an information station, a shout out to everybody, do not open up something you're not familiar with or something that you have doubts about. So it will say it's from Larry at WOCA, and you get a lot of emails from Larry. But if you'll look, it's not the normal format of Larry. In other words, it might be Larry at WOCA / something, it's got a little extra something in it. And that's the person copying Larry's email, and as soon as you open up that thing, the virus attacks.
Do you know what drives me nuts? Listen to this.
Yeah, I know what drives you nuts.
So listen. So on Facebook, right? I wanted to make my Facebook page say the art of Larry Whitler, right?
Right.
Facebook says, I'm sorry, it's not welcome. You can't do that. Because they see it as the art of Larry W. Hitler.
Oh, wow.
Because that's how my name is spelled.
Yeah.
So I have to write them a letter, and I said, forget about it. It's like, forget it. You can't make them see anything. There's too many people that they have to worry about. So,
all right.
Hey, Joe.
Good morning, all.
Kingpin has walked in.
I've been listening.
And? Yeah, you want to heat up your hands?
Friction.
Friction of your hands, indeed.
Do you remember the hand warmer the Boy Scouts used to sell?
I think
they still sell them.
They do?
Sure.
Really?
Yeah, the Boy Scouts not might sell them, but they still sell them.
The Boy Scouts had hand warmers.
Now it's just a little package, just crack, and it's chemical reaction. Is that right, Jim?
Yeah.
Oh my.
And what was it before? It was like fuel or something? Some fire.
I think it was some kind of a fuel in there.
Yeah.
Because it smelled. You smelled it,
Now, is that the new name of your business, Homeland Optical Technology?
No, Homeland Optical is the company that operates the cable TV system in Ocala Palms.
Oh, I see.
That's the only residence where they are right now, which is Ocala Palms.
Oh,
right now. You notice how he premises that? Right now.
But
be expanded later.
But you're still American Cable Service.
Yes. American Cable Service repairs and installs for anybody.
Oh, that's wonderful.
American Cable Services. I thought you were changing the name. I don't know why I thought that.
I'm reducing the name to ACS.
ACS.
Because that's the way of the world. The way of the world is to...
Yeah.
What do you call that when you reduce it to letters?
Acronym?
Acronym.
Yeah.
So you got to get with the 21st century.
Like IHOB.
IHOB.
I hob, you hob, we all hob.
They're going to start selling beer pretty soon. Yeah. International House of Beers.
Could be. Yeah. All right, you guys, we got to wrap it up.
All right.
We've got to go. Daryl,
Thank
Joe, you want to do the honors?
This is WOCA Ocala.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Lillian Wu. Celebrity chef and TV show host Anthony Bourdain has died, according to CNN, home to his show Parts Unknown.